Your brand isn't just your logo, colors, or a tagline. It's really your energy. And in astrology, that energy lives in your 10th house and your midheaven, the part of your chart that shows how you're meant to be seen in the world. Today, we're talking about how to build a brand that's aligned with your cosmic signature, so your visibility and your purpose speak the same language. All right, so if you want to know more, stick around. You definitely don't want to miss this. Hello, my loves. As always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If this is our first time meeting, hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Mel. I'm a professional astrologer and sound therapist, and I'm the founder of Divine Feminine Works, where I help people unlock their divinity and discover their magic. So if you are new, welcome. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. So today's video is all about aligning your business with your 10th house and your midheaven. You know, those brands that you see, those companies that on those entrepreneurs that you see that it's so natural, it's so effortless, it makes sense. It's like they are living what they are selling, or they are living what they are doing and putting out there. When you align your business with your 10th house and your midheaven, that's what you can achieve. It's the vibe that your business gives. You know, the 10th house and the midheaven, they're both the highest points in your chart, or at least the 10th house is. And so it's how you show up, it's how you shine. And if you align what you're putting out there with how you shine, how you show up, what you are known for, it makes more sense. And when things make sense, people tend to buy into those a lot more than anything that seems forced or anything that doesn't seem genuine. All right, so without further ado, let's get into today's topic so you know what your business vibe is so you can show up correctly. All right, so let's get into this. And I want you to think of your 10th house and your midheaven as your brand signature. All right, so to begin, I want you to think about and meditate on this core idea. Your 10th house reveals your public role, your reputation, and your contribution. Your midheaven is the title of your life's work, your brand essence, and career identity. And when you align both, your outer world reflects your inner calling. All right. I talked extensively about that in my previous midheaven video, which I will link down below. Right. But it's like your calling and your career and your calling are two sides of the same coin. And when you align them, or I should say, when you understand them via your natal chart, this is how you can execute both flawlessly. All right, so let's get into this. So, step one, you have to understand your 10th house themes, okay? So the 10th house shows your public expression, the stage where your purpose plays out, all right? So I'm not going to enumerate each and every 10th house sign, although I did get someone who requested that. So I think I might do a separate video on that at some point later in time. But for right now, let's talk about it by element, okay, to get sort of a more generalized view of it. So let's say that your 10th house is a fire sign, which of course is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. So you lead through inspiration and your visibility comes from passion and confidence. I love to think of my fire sign 10th housers as the motivational speakers, the TED talkers, and the people that light a fire under your ass to get you to do something. Okay. Next, let's say your 10th house is an earth sign, which is, of course, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. So you build through consistency and your brand exudes reliability and value. You know, when I think about earth sign 10th housers, it's like, like a JP Morgan Chase or even like a Ford Motor Company, a company that has been around forever, that stands the test of time. That is sort of your brand signature. So you not only establish yourself as like an expert, but you establish yourself as a a long-standing brand, something that can stand the test of time, all right? Next, let's say your 10th house is an air sign, which is Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. You shine through ideas, communication, and collaboration. You bring people together. Y'all are like the social networks. Community is a great way and could really be a great aspect of your business or of your calling or even your career. Okay. And then finally, let's say that you have your 10th house in a water sign, which is Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. You influence through emotion, transformation, and empathy. That water sign 10th house can really speak to healing. It could speak to nurturing. It could speak to helping people feel better. Okay. Now, regardless, whatever your 10th house is, you want to ask yourself, does my brand feel like an authentic extension of my 10th house energy? And this is what I was talking about before. Like those people that come across as natural, like they they walk the talk, right? And it seems like their brand is really an extension of their personality. I'll dare say that maybe they're very much in alignment with their 10th house energy. Now, it's those people that are faking the funk, that are faking it till they make it, that are putting on a costume that doesn't seem relatable and definitely doesn't seem authentic. But again, when you align with your 10th house energy, you align with your career and calling, it comes off authentically and people can really relate to that. Okay. So now let's move on to step two, which is decoding your midheaven sign. Okay. So the sign that your midheaven is in shows how you're meant to achieve your legacy. All right. Legacy is a big thing that I feel we talk about it in terms of generational wealth, right? Which is clearly very important. But when you think about entrepreneurship, I really think that it's one of the things that you should think about first. Unless you're someone who's approaching entrepreneurship as sort of a hustle or sort of just something to get you by. The thing, and I'm about to go on a little tangent right now, so please forgive or really pay attention. You know, so often everything in our society is microwave and everything is about here today, gone tomorrow, maximize and get things in 3 days. And you know the vibe, right? Entrepreneurship is a journey. And if you haven't heard this before, it's a long ass journey. And you should plan for it and you should expect that. You should go into it understanding that. I think that, and this is no shade to anyone who thinks this way, we're living in some very complex economic times, to put it lightly. And so many people are finding that the job market is so much less than stable, and people are really looking to entrepreneurship in droves. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a statistic on the screen right now that shows the rise and has shown the ascent of entrepreneurship in the last couple of years and over the last couple of decades, right? And how it's risen and it will continue to do so. But if you're coming at it from a place of, well, I can't get a job, so let me just do something for myself, you're not necessarily thinking long term. You're not thinking of legacy. You're thinking of doing something to get you by. And honestly, entrepreneurship is not that. The seed that you plant today is not the fruit that you eat today. There are activities I did 2 years ago that are popping off right now. And if I was expecting them to pop off at that time so I could feed myself, that is not, and I'm not judging, I'm not trying to condemn anyone who thinks that way because, again, we're living in some really crazy times right now. But entrepreneurship is not a quick fix. Entrepreneurship is not, let me just try this so I can pay off this bill. Entrepreneurship is a journey, and it's not even a financial journey or a business journey. It is very much a personal journey. You will understand yourself in ways you never really imagined when you embark on an entrepreneurial adventure, let's call it that, right? And so when we're talking about this, let me just point blank period say that my content, what I'm talking about this series, are for people who, I don't want to say are serious about entrepreneurship, but understand what it entails. And if you haven't understood what it entails, I hope that this series, and particularly this video specifically, helps you understand what all it entails. And if you are looking to develop yourself, develop your business, and leave a legacy, then this is for you. But if you're looking for quick hacks, if you're looking for the next hustle, the next fad, the next trend, not only is this not for you, I don't think that my content is for you. And that's perfectly fine. There is content and there are, business owners, entrepreneurs, and creators out there for that. But over here on this side of things, we're creating legacies. And your midheaven can speak all to that, right? So now let's take some examples of some midheaven. So let's say you've got a Leo midheaven. You're very much the personal brand, and personal brand gets thrown around a lot, and everyone's like, to be successful you have to have a personal brand. I don't think that's true, and I don't think everyone is made to be a personal brand, but Leo as a midheaven, you exude charisma, and you're very much enmeshed in creative leadership. Let's say you've got a Virgo midheaven. This is practical, it's about guidance, and it's about systems and holistic support. Let's say you've got a Libra midheaven, all right? This entails beauty, balance, and harmony, and success that is gained through aesthetics and relationships. Scorpio midheaven, y'all are a bit intense. Y'all are the transformative and truth-telling people, all right? You've got power through depth and authenticity. Capricorn MC or midheaven. And just so you know, if you're looking at your natal chart and you see MC, that is what your midheaven is abbreviated as in your natal chart. So if I say midheaven or MC, I'm using them interchangeably. All right. So Capricorn MC, you've got authority and achievement. You build legacy through mastery and results. All right. But regardless, wherever your midheaven is, you want to ask yourself this question: what kind of presence am I cultivating? And does it align with my midheaven story? All right, those are going to be exceptionally important to understand in terms of how you put yourself out in the world and how your brand aligns with who you are. All right. So now let's move on to step 3, which is the ruling planet. All right. And the ruling planet is your brand strategy. And when I talk about the ruling planet, I'm talking about the ruling planet of your midheaven. So let's say that you have Capricorn as your midheaven. Your ruling planet of your midheaven is Saturn. Okay. And I've got a free resource in the description box below so you can understand all of the ruling planets as they pertain to the signs, and so you can commit them to memory. All right. So the planet ruling your midheaven shows how to grow your influence. So let's say your midheaven is ruled by Venus. You build your brand through relationships, visuals, and attraction. If your midheaven is ruled by Mercury, you use communication, teaching, and storytelling. If your midheaven is ruled by Mars, you take bold action, lead with courage and conviction. If your midheaven is ruled by Saturn, you build credibility, authority, and long term trust. Either way, you want to ask yourself: am I marketing myself in a way that honors my ruling planet's style? And now we arrive at step 4, which is integrating your brand with your chart. Okay. So your 10th house equals what you are known for, and your midheaven equals the vibe and values behind your reputation. And then you're going to add onto that your ruling planet of your midheaven, or the ruling planet of your midheaven, which equates to how you grow and sustain that reputation. And so when you put all these 3 things together, and when all of them are aligned, your brand naturally magnetizes your audience. Okay. And that's exactly what I was saying before. You don't want to chase. And I feel like when people put on a costume, when they put on a persona that is not aligned with who they actually are, that's what they're doing in business. They're chasing people, they're faking the funk. And that's not how you want to approach this at all. When you are in alignment, you magnetize people to you. You don't have to do as much hustling and grinding as, the world will make you believe that you need to do. Alignment will have it's like putting the puzzle pieces together, and then everything starts to flow to you, including clients and customers and subscribers and followers and community members, right? So it is your 10th house, your midheaven, and the ruling planet of your midheaven. When these three are aligned, this is when business becomes successful for you. All right, so now let's get into some quick integration tips and why this all even matters. All right, visibility becomes effortless when your brand mirrors your chart. You stop performing success and start embodying it. This directly speaks to what I was just saying. You're not faking the funk. You don't have a costume on. You're not cosplaying as something that you're not. You're not performing success, you're embodying success. All right. Your midheaven reminds you that your legacy isn't built overnight. It's crafted through authenticity, consistency, and alignment. That's why if you're looking for the latest hack, if you were looking for something to make you a quick 50 bucks, this shit ain't for you. Real talk. But if you're looking to embody success and be your authentic self and show up as you are and align your business to that, then this is for you. And that's how you are going to experience success and sustainability in your business. Inside my signature natal chart experience, the blueprint, we decode your midheaven and the ruling planet of your midheaven so you can align your career, branding, and offers with your true calling. All right. And if you're interested in signing up for the blueprint, the first step is to book a free 15-minute clarity call so we can decide whether the blueprint is even right for you and if so, how to get started. So if you're interested in that, the link is in the description box below. And in my online private community Cosmic Collective, this week's discussion post is all about 10th house magic, how to share your midheaven sign and how it shows up in your brand. So if you want a little bit of a deeper dive and you want to learn with others, join us over in Cosmic Collective. The link is also in the description box below. All right, my love, so that's pretty much all I've got for you on this video about 10th house magic. All right, so to recap, your 10th house and midheaven show the bridge between purpose and presence, the key to a brand that feels as good as it looks, especially for you water sign 10th houses. How you come across has to feel good, not just look good, but for all of us, how you come across, how your brand makes people feel, the vibe of your brand. It's all about that 10th house magic. All right. So don't forget to take the Abundance Archetype quiz to uncover your brand and entrepreneurial archetype. The link to that is in the description box below. Don't forget to join us over in Cosmic Collective for the 10th house magic discussion and this week's Q&A. All right. And don't forget to enter the giveaway. We are literally in the final days of it. All right. So every comment, share, and quiz sign up counts as an entry. Winners will be announced live during my weekly live stream once we hit our milestone. So subscribe, all right? And drop your midheaven sign in the comments below so we can start to understand your 10th house magic, all right? And to recap for the giveaway, I will be gifting up to 3 blueprint experiences, all right? So if you want to understand yourself better and perhaps get it for the free, then you'll definitely want to enter the giveaway, all right? And so join us tomorrow where we will wrap up this 31-day money and astrology series, where we will wrap up this 31-day money and astrology series with a powerful integration, all right? How to turn everything you learned thus far into your own astropreneur. Yes, I'm using that word, astropreneur formula for purpose and profit. All right. This is first of all, cannot believe I've done this. I've never done anything like this before where I have posted consistently for a whole month on YouTube. So I've done long form videos for 31 days, each video being about 20 minutes long. And I'm so happy to have achieved this, but more importantly, I'm so happy to have brought all of this information for you. All right. So tune in tomorrow for the last day of this series and where we put everything together into, like I said, an astropreneur formula for purpose and for profit. You definitely don't want to miss that. All right, my loves, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.